They call me the rabbit hunter. I got that name from a senator in the state, Senator John Astor. When I would go to these wildlife meetings, and he would come because he was head of the Maryland State Caucus. And he couldn't remember my name. And he said, oh, there's the rabbit hunter. And I like it. It's cool because rabbit hunting is all I do. I don't hunt nothing else. I like to move. I'm an active person. I stay busy, and I enjoy rabbit hunting. So I think the title is appropriate. I've been doing it since I've been 8 years old, and I turned 69 last week. I grew up in a little town called New Roads, Louisiana, near Baton Rouge. My folks were Creole people, and we were tenant farmers. So at that time, everybody hunted. I learned from my older brother, Francis. He taught me how to hunt and how to fish at 8 years old, and I kept it up. And that's how I got started, and I stayed with it. Rabbit hunting used to be real popular when I was growing up because everybody did it, because it was cheap, it was easy. You could take like an old Ivor Johnson single barrel, and that's all we had.
I think it's a childhood thing. When he was young, he had older brothers that took him out in the woods to hunt. When he first came up here, for years, he didn't do it because the priority was the family. And then as the kids grew older and started going to college, he said, Judy, I'm gonna get me my own dogs and I'm gonna set it up. So that's when he really showed the passion.
And you can't measure the enjoyment. My hand is scratched, my clothes get tattered, but I go back because it's my passion and it's my joy. Today, we hunted my pack of beagles, Hank, Rattler, Bozo, Blue, and Sam. This is their first year of running together, and they have been giving outstanding... I keep my dogs for a long time. Treat them well, even when they can't hunt anymore. Where some people trade dogs back and forth every year. So the dogs never get to really know the other dogs, and they never really get to know them. I ask a lot of questions, and I learn. The thing that get me riled up on the dogs working a cover is when they working it in unison. Everybody's working. They're just like a football team. Everybody's got a job and a position. And I have certain dogs that are lead dogs. And the first one hit the scent and give that certain bark, and the chase is on. I tell people a rabbit will make the best hunter and the best shot look bad on your best day. He's a tricky devil. Okay, he'll run straight back at you. He'll run around you, come in from the backside. There's no guarantee where he's coming from. So the best thing for you to do is find your clearing and stand quiet and just let him work, let the dogs work, and hopefully you catch him when he makes a little fool of himself and you can put a number 6 on him, or 7.5. My preferred gun is a 20 gauge with a 26-inch barrel, and I shoot high brass number 6. It's light, it's easy to swing, it's got good range, good knockdown power, and it doesn't tear the rabbit up. It's a sweet shooting gun.
Where you at, Jeff?
When the dogs are on that rabbit, the rabbit obviously is running away from you, and all you hear is the dogs going, and they get further and further away. And then sometimes they get off the scent a little bit, and then it gets real quiet.
Find him!
That change between the noise of the dogs when they're on the scent and that quiet is just like the hunter's ebb and flow of things. So when you start to hear those dogs and you hear them coming back at you, your heart starts to pound and you get ready, and it's just really exciting for a little rabbit. I like to try to mimic Charles out in the field, and he gets those dogs going, and there are certain Charlesisms that I can't even come close to.
Yeah! Here you go! Yeah!
Charles has his own style of commands that are a little bit more lively, I think, than most, and that's part of the trait of teaching the dogs to get excited about the rabbits.
It's like a drill sergeant telling his squad what to do and giving certain command and cadence. They understand it. It's communication between them and me.
Charles has taught us all to yell, "Dead rabbit!" when we got one and we killed it, and when everyone else then knows that it's dead. But we kind of mimic that a little bit after the way Charles says it too.
He's extremely professional. The way he handles his dogs and the way he communicates with other hunters is something that I've experienced very few times in my life. It's an interactive experience, it's an educational experience, but always, always, Charles is out to have a good time in the field.
I can tell by the look of him whether it was a good day or a bad day. He talks and he relives it. He's got a memory of everything that goes on.
So even after 60-some years, my heart still races. Now today, you can probably count the people who raise dogs and go out hunting. It has changed quite a bit from the old ways where didn't see a whole lot, and now rabbits are increasing. You can see a whole lot, as long as they're good cover. Today, February 11th, is my birthday. Many people like to sit around the house or go shopping on their birthday. The best present for me is a good rabbit hunt with friends who enjoy themselves equally as well as me. I've written probably 80 that have been published, and I get a joy out of writing them and describing the hunt, and I like to give the hunters a little publicity, and my goal is just to have a great enjoyment, something for them to have a memory and they can show people.
And the fact that he writes rabbit hunting stories, I'm his editor, so I can tell you all the stuff they do outside, just from reading the stories. I mean, he writes like he talks, and so it's nice to see him excited about it.
Before I met Charles, February was the longest, coldest, short month of the whole year. Once I met Charles and we started to rabbit hunt, I have something to look forward to in February. So it just makes it special because he's so singularly focused and so passionate about rabbit hunting.
Charles is a true character in the field. The way he talks to his dogs, the way he hunts, everything with Charles is an absolute adventure. So for us who are fortunate enough to go on a hunt with him, it's always a special experience.
I'm passionate about this, and my wife sometimes says, "You're too serious." This is what I do. This is what I enjoy.
He's a good husband. I tell people he's a good husband, especially after 46 years.
He and his wife will cook and bring food down to our office in Washington, D.C., just out of generosity. He does a lot of volunteer work, very involved in the church. He's just a really decent human being.
And I only eat a few of them. I give them all away. So a lot of people wait on them, and I don't charge anybody a penny for nothing.
It's so amazing. I mean, it can be the mailman, the shoe store, the guy to cleaners. Some people like it's a memory thing. It's really fascinating to see the joy that people get from getting rabbits.
He brings everything back to about being in the outdoors and enjoying the outdoors. He's one of the most real, sincere, personable people I've ever met in my entire life.
A friend who's not a hunter asked me, he said, "Man, how long are you gonna keep doing that stuff?" I said, "Until I can't do it no more."